Hello, everyone. This is the Tis Vijayaratna on behalf of World Federation Neurology World Brain Day team and public awareness team and social media team. It is indeed my pleasure and honor and great delight to the host, our guest, who had been a close colleague with me over several years because we have certain things in common. This is François, the Chief Executive Officer of Migraine Buddy. So François, very good evening to you. How are you today?
Great, and it's a real pleasure to be with you tonight.
Excellent. Today, this chat is going to be a little bit different. Before we get on to Migraine Buddy, tell us how François was made to this world. I know that you were born in a different country. You grew up somewhere else, and currently you're based in a different place, and you do things very different to what others do. So tell our viewers who you are and how you end up with what you are doing, and take us through the journey of making of you first, and then making of Migraine Buddy next.
Yeah. So I'm from the France, the Celtic part of France, called Brittany. And like many of the kids from Brittany, I've been very early on been traveling all over the world. My first contact with the Pacific Ocean has been Polynesia, French Polynesia. And later on, while growing and studying, I went to in Japan, where I did work on clinical development for pharmaceutical companies. And now I'm in Singapore, working, and where I did found the company called Healint, which is the company behind the Migraine Buddy platform.
You have been living in Singapore for a long period of time now, probably well over 10 years. Would I be correct?
8 years. 8 years in Japan, 8 years in Singapore, and 16 years in France.
Right.
And you nearly have my age.
So you are a global citizen. So perfect. The story for our viewers. Your story is a little bit different to our viewers. We normally talk to academic neurologists, pioneers in the field, budding neurologists, neurology trainees. I have spoken with a couple of medical students, hoping that they would pursue a career in neurology. I have spoken with nursing academics and allied health academics also. But the reason that I chose to interview you is your story is worthy of knowing for the global neurology community, because you and me both know that migraine is a very common neurological disorder. There are well over 1 billion people with migraine globally at this point of time. And you came up with something unique that others have not thought of. So take us through that journey. How did this come about? Tell us about making of Healint and then making of Migraine Buddy. So, early days first.
Yes, it started in 2012, 2013, where I was actually working on the supporting my father, who had his second stroke. And at the time, we started to work on the platform to help my father, to help me in following my father and being able to see if he was potentially again at risk, and building basically predictive patterns and tracking methodologies to be able to see if he was potentially again at risk of having another stroke, without having him to go into a medical house. So I wanted him to continue to live freely his life. We worked on sensor data. We worked on the best way to track, to make it simple as possible, knowing that he could only use one hand. We did consider many ways, and the smartphone became the most ubiquitous, the most convenient tool for him very quickly. So we developed it. We worked with neurologists here in Singapore, expanded it into epilepsy, into spinal stenosis, and we at some point neurologists told us, but you know, I gave it to some patients and actually I asked them to track their migraine with it. And this is how Migraine Buddy came. They told us they have lots of patients. We need to come with better records so that they can take decisions faster. And we move from this research on sensors, this clinical platform, to something which could be used by everybody and not just the research. And now that the platform did become it actually became very big, we are able to use it again for research, but that's a different story. So in 2014, we did launch Migraine Buddy with the intent to test who would really enjoy using it, if it could work, if we could manage to make the reports, the relation between the patient and the doctors, the headache specialists more efficient.
And at present, Migraine Buddy is being used by millions of people globally. Can you tell us how many users, how many living users are out there at this point of time?
I hope a maximum of them are living.
No, I mean living in the sense. I'll clarify my question. Living in the sense currently using.
Yes, I'm sorry. My daughter managed to.
That's enter. Okay. That's okay.
Amy. sorry.
It's all part of the joy.
Exactly.
That's okay.
And so I just come back.
That's okay.
So we reached 3 million users across the world in 10 languages. The number one language on the platform is now English, and then Japanese, French, German, and so on. And so we've recorded. I think we went past the billion of tracked migraines, and every month you have hundreds of thousands of reports which are brought to their doctors to help in deciding what to do to best handle the headaches and migraines. And today it's even going beyond migraine, because we have many patients who are using it for cluster headaches, fibromyalgia, multiple sclerosis. It's really across the board in terms of neurology and immunology, because there's a lot of common points in those fields.
And the application is free, and there are no hidden costs to the patients, because I myself use Migraine Buddy, and you could basically convert your record to a PDF and hand it over to your physician or nurse if you wish, isn't it?
So the intent has always been, I'm coming from a country where healthcare is nearly free, France. And in the team, we believe, we even if I may sound like a communist, I believe that healthcare should be free because it's a basic freedom. Our approach is to make every functions which are needed for you to track and interact with your doctor free. We're financing it with mostly today with the subscriptions, optional subscriptions that people can take. But that's optional, such as observing your weather sensitivity, trying to work with some coach to find your triggers, some more advanced functions which are not needed to deal with your doctor, not needed to help your doctor, but which are optional and allow us to be independent and to finance research also.
And they are probably empowering patients so that they can be more informed and well equipped with knowledge, if you like.
So we worked with partners on those, with nutritionists, with data specialists, for those patients who also told us that they would like to be able to do more by themselves. And we know that some patients just want to do a maximum by themselves. Some patients want to do both, and some patients want to do everything with their doctor. So as the application and the platform is growing, we are trying to cover more and more needs.
Excellent. We had a glimpse of your younger daughter. So before we move to the second topic, tell us about your family life. You are happily married. If I recall correctly, you are
Yes.
a happy father of two daughters, two beautiful daughters.
So we were a French and Japanese family living here in Singapore with two daughters, as you mentioned, relatively young, and we are learning a maximum of languages. I'm trying to make their brain work and create a maximum of connections in their brain as early as possible. Yes.
Absolutely. I think you hit the nail on the head. Learning languages is one of the super fast way to grow synapses and improve further connectivities. It's a good lesson for as we get older also. Continue to learn is a good thing for our brain. That actually gives a nice segue to our next topic. As you are aware, World Federation of Neurology is the largest non-governmental organization that is primarily interested in neurological disorders. We are basically the assimilation or assortment of all neurology association societies globally. We're almost all. We cover 122 countries. When we began World Brain Day campaign in 2014, our idea was, given that brain disorders are the leading cause of disability, we felt that there was a strong need for a global, the universal awareness campaign, so that we raise the profile of brain disorders and we get policymakers and funders to recognize the importance of brain health. I mean, I don't need to convert you. You are very well aware that there's absolutely no health without brain health. We are talking to each other from different parts of the world using our brains. We are using a platform to communicate with each other, visiting each other's study area, using our brain and using the devices that were made to us by those people who did use their brains. Obviously, having seen your father affected by a stroke, having managing the well over 1 billion episodes of headache diaries, you are well aware the fact that our brain health is at a crossroad at the moment. Almost 1 out of 3 of us are either having or at threat of having a neurological disorder. So the idea was ambitious, but we wanted to promote brain health and empower people to improve their brain health by passing knowledge and awareness. The way that we normally do it is we select a particular disease or illness, if you like, and then we partner with another global organization. We covered migraine a few years back. We partnered with International Headache Society. We covered Parkinson's disease last year. We partnered with Movement Disorder Society. We covered epilepsy. We partnered with the International League Against Epilepsy. We covered stroke. We partnered with World Stroke Organization. We have the blessings of World Health Organization also. So this year, we partnered with multiple sclerosis. At present, there are close to 3 million people having multiple sclerosis, to be precise, 2.8 million. Every 5 minutes, somewhere someone gets this diagnosis, generally at the prime of their life. Mean age of diagnosis is 32. Imagine that at the age of 32, when you are just married or having had your first child or planning to buy your first house or planning to graduate or planning to buy your first car or basically setting your family up. Both of us are happy family men. We know how important those things are for simple human beings. At that particular time, when you get this sort of a diagnosis, it's overwhelming. But the good news is the good news story of multiple sclerosis is that we have exceptional treatment that can almost stop multiple sclerosis. Yet 70% of the countries in the world can't access early diagnosis or treatment. So our ambitious agenda this year is to reach out to the global community, including your Migraine Buddy subscribers. My request to them is get on to your social media platform, whether it is Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn. Just post something today or tomorrow or next week. I support World Brain Day. I support brain health. Brain health is important. If you want to collect even more brownie points, post something saying that stop multiple sclerosis. We have indeed created a nice toolkit that is available through World Federation Neurology website. We have created a whole lot of social media posts, videos. This video will be posted there also eventually, and they are to be used by people on this awareness campaign. Now, I haven't asked my question yet. My question is, having heard all those things, as a person who is intimately involved in brain-related things, how excited are you to see this sort of a global, the simple people targeted campaign going on, encompassing every country from north to south, from west to east, from South Pole to North Pole, right across the world?
It's obviously critical, considering that, as you mentioned, the brain is our essence, and in the previous centuries we were just focused on, I would say, keeping the people alive because people were considered just as a workforce. Nowadays it's about freedom. The day you lose the capacity to use your brain efficiently, it's taking away your freedom. It's potentially also taking away some of the freedom for the people around you who worry for you, who need to take care of you. Multiple sclerosis, Parkinson, Alzheimer, and even to some extent migraine, stroke, epilepsy have also those impact on people around us. So clearly, I'm excited by freedom. I'm excited by bringing more freedom to the next generations. And I really feel that we need to make research on the brain, on everything around the brain, move faster. Today, we know more about the space and the universe than about our own brain. We're ready to conquer the planet once this one is destroyed, but we're still not yet capable of taking care and really understand our brain fully. So that's the next frontier.
I totally agree. In fact, I would also like to add, François, that things such as happiness, that when we are with our family, with our children, with our pets, when we see greenery just like behind you, we feel happy. And the brain, the people who are interested in brain science is now moving towards unraveling mysteries behind happiness, unhappiness, kindness, compassion, caring, sharing, all those things. I think despite the fact that we are both in the middle of this crazy pandemic, I think the field is about to become even more fascinating as we move towards these important, soft, yet very important aspects of us as humans or humanity, basically. So that they give me the last question. Your message to youngsters, whether they are entrepreneurs, wanted to be entrepreneurs like you, or clinician scientists like me, or nursing and allied health, or even simple people who might get one of these brain disorders. How do you want them to move forward with whatever the desire and passion that they have, specifically for the youngsters? What is your take-home message if someone out there in one of the most resource limited Asian country or sub-Saharan Africa, if they wanted to be, I want to be one day like François, I want to do something really big that would be impactful for the world, what's your message to them?
The first thing is that there is no border to disease. We started in Singapore. Our app now, our platform is used in the USA, in Japan, all over the world. So think big from scratch. The second one is focus on the patient. Healthcare needs to be focused more on the patient. For a long, long time, it has not been focused that much on the patient. And now it's time to give more tools to the patient so that we can all help our doctors in doing more for us, help the research system in doing more for all of us as patients. And by doing that, by putting the patient first, you will see that you will be able to help everybody, that everything will fall in place. When there are some difficult choices to be done, for example, if insurance companies are contacting you and asking you to do something, if you focus on the interest of the patient first, it will be the best North Star. It will help you in knowing where to say yes or when to say no.
So basically the summary is wherever you are, think beyond borders, think big, dream big. But when you think big and dream big, think big, dream big from the context of person that who you give care to, not internally. It's not about thinking big about you. It is about altruism and giving. Did I get it right?
Because this is the best motivation for the team. In the team, we have people with migraines, with psoriasis, with Crohn, and we have friends around us who've had multiple sclerosis, brain tumors, and so on and so on. And when we receive positive messages from the users of the platform, from the patients, this is giving us energy. It's motivating everybody in the team. And so there's nothing better. It's far more powerful than money, to be frank. We get talents coming and joining because we know that we are here to do good. And we don't, to be clear, to be frank, we don't get people who are considering working with us in our team or going into a bank. People come and work for us as a team, work with us as a team to help the patient to give freedom to millions, to soon billions across the world. And that's the best way to be motivated even when things are difficult.
François, it's been a pleasure to chat to you tonight, and thank you very much giving us time out of your family time in the late evening of a very busy day. You are basically doing tremendous amount of work in a neglected, the unrecognized, undertreated disorder affecting brain health, and that's the sort of friendship. That's the sort of key to friendship between you and me. I invite you to support us in 2021 World Brain Day campaign. We are determined to surpass well over 100 million outreach this year. Please encourage your Migraine Buddy users to support World Brain Day campaign, and invite them to visit our website and download the toolkit. On a separate email, I'll send you the link. You can direct your website visitors to our website, and they can download the toolbox. Toolbox has a press release, slide deck, a whole lot of other material that they can use to run their own advocacy campaign to end multiple sclerosis in their country, their hospital, their region. Our overall aim is to promote brain health and bring much needed smile and happiness and continue to push better humanity, better world with better brain health globally. Thank you so much for chatting to us, and keep up the good work. and we need a lot more work in migraine field also. And we continue to look forward to partnering with Migraine Buddy where possible to promote research and educational activities globally.
Thank you so much.
Take care and stay safe, stay well.